This is a special episode of the Bench to Boardroom podcast. We are at the ARVO 2024 meeting, Association for Research in Vision and Ophthalmology. We are in lovely Seattle, Washington, where the rain never stops. And I am here with two of my good friends and special guests. Everyone knows Dr. Diane Bovenkamp from BrightFocus Foundation. And Preeti, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Preeti Subramanian. I'm the Director for Vision Science at BrightFocus Foundation.
Excellent. So we actually just started the day at a BrightFocus sponsored event called the Restore Consortium, which is held by investigators at Johns Hopkins University. I guess my first question is, what did you guys think? What did we learn today? What was kind of exciting?
Wow. Did you want to go first?
Well, I think it's really ambitious project with the ultimate goal of connecting the eye to the brain.
Mhm.
And these are like laying the roadmap on how we can, in a more structured way, get to the final goal of
Yeah.
vision restoration.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's many steps, and you need to bring in people from many different countries
Mhm.
with different expertise to be able to transplant, to try and replace the vision that has been lost, the cells that have been lost, those RGCs, to transplant it in, make sure it survives, make sure it starts extending out in the right direction.
Right.
And there's like many waylay stations along the way, and then
Absolutely.
connect to the,
Mhm.
occipital lobe or whatever in the back. But then you have to be able to see something. You don't want to,
Yeah.
see a marshmallow and think that it's a crocodile or something on the back.
And I thought that was particularly interesting too, because you're right. When we think about if someone is blind, or they have like some kind of trauma that's made them lose vision in even just one eye, the hurdles that have to be overcome for those nerves to potentially regrow is one thing. But I think the other really interesting component of it was other tests that could be done to demonstrate functional vision and gaining it back. So, for example, we think about the test that we get at the eye doctor
Mhm.
all the time. And when you're starting to go blind, there's other very standardized tests that they do. But that doesn't always necessarily translate to a person's
Mhm.
ability to walk down a hallway,
Yeah.
or cross a street knowing that it's safe. Or as you said, Diane, recognize an object for what it is.
For what it is.
And
Yeah.
so one of the most interesting points I think that was brought up today was there are patients who are completely blind in both eyes who don't know if it's nighttime or daytime.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, yes.
if they, it would be fantastic, obviously, if we could get them to gain enough vision that they could see again. But maybe we even just start with them being able to tell that it's nighttime.
They can sleep again.
Yeah.
Yes, they can sleep again.
Yeah.
They can. Maybe they still need a cane or a guide dog or something, but at least they can rest, and
Yeah.
that's going to be a huge change, a game changer in terms of their quality of life.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just, I thought that was a really excellent point that was brought up a few times
Yeah.
in my small group today.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great point, and I think that also tells about the importance of engaging patients
Absolutely.
in all of these research initiatives, because we want to know what they are looking forward
Yes.
to, and that's what our goal should be: is to meet them where they want us to.
The other cool thing that came from the third group that was talking more about clinical translation, they were saying maybe we should sit down with the FDA to try and get
Yes, absolutely.
a better primary outcomes to try and define it. And I think that borrowing what's already been done from other groups would be great. So I'm thinking with the gene therapy for Luxturna,
Yes.
they actually had this, what you were talking about, navigating in the real world, the navigation around steps and around, I think that one would probably a good one to try and bring into the glaucoma
Yes.
world.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
So what Diane's talking about is a test that was created by a company because they have a gene therapy. Is it for Leber's congenital?
Well, it originally was with researchers. They did it with dogs.
Yes.
Lancelot the dog. Anyways, but yeah, they brought it. The company brought it in for humans.
For humans. Yes. And so they were all little kids. These are young kids that suffer from this. And so what they did was they realized that standardized testing wasn't working for them because they could tell that the kids were getting better, but the traditional tests weren't showing that. So they created a maze for these kids to do, and they standardized the different levels of light, right? And so then they could see that after an injection, the kids, before the injection, the kids could only do the maze at like the highest level of light, and they would step out of the maze, or they would step off the line, they would trip on something, and even at the highest levels of light, they still couldn't be successful. But after the injection, they could use lower levels of light, and the kids could still successfully navigate the maze. And they managed to get that approved by the FDA as a standardized test. But you're right, Diane. I mean, we should do that for everything.
Borrow from other. So, but I mean, I think it was really, really exciting. It was really invigorating for me to see all the scientists. They were like kids in a candy store today.
I know, right?
And I just love talking about it. It's been a while since I was in the wet lab, but I went in the vascular, the neurovascular unit. And of course, to regrow nerves, you need to bring in oxygen and take away waste. So you also have to grow with, and all of the other cells. So that was really exciting today to kick that off. BrightFocus not only supported the meeting, but we gave these little micro funds that to try. And so 2 years ago, and last year we put out a review, and that's like, these are the low hanging fruit. So then we said, well, why don't we give micro funds, and some people can try and test the low hanging fruit, and 4 of them that we gave funds to presented today.
Wow.
So there's like half of them kind of worked with the hypothesis, and the other half is like, well, that didn't work, but that's good. We'll just scratch that off the list and we'll just change it. And so it contributed to so I think that way of microfunding might be cool to do that from now
provide
on.
seed fund for small experiments that can have a huge impact on telling us whether or not we're going in the right direction.
Sure. Yeah. What do you guys consider microfunds?
Microfunds, I guess people were
like
getting
tiny money.
They're getting between 5,000 and 15,000 each.
Okay.
So we gave 50,000.
Okay.
That's a microfund. You do like a little discrete experiment.
Okay. And was there a time frame attributed to that?
They had about
9 months.
6 or 9 months.
to 9
Yeah.
Okay,
months,
to 9 months to gestate a
Try
study.
test out that one
Yeah.
hypothesis. That helped
That
one
small
sub
one
hypothesis.
yeah.
Okay, that's
Experiments.
great. So, and then you guys have a few other things that are going on at ARVO. What else are you up to?
So actually, at the Restore meeting, we also had travel awards. To participants, early stage investigators to participate, and we also have travel awards for ARVO meeting. So we have 12 travel awardees, and half of those are women scientists as part of our diversity travel award to encourage participation at the meeting. And then we have 13 hot topics that are BrightFocus funded projects that are being presented at.
That's the most ever, I think.
Wow.
And about
plus others.
plus other and
topics.
close to 70 presentations between poster and talks for BrightFocus Fund.
Why is providing travel funds important to the BrightFocus Foundation?
Well, I think that not only is it important to give funds for researchers to do the experiments and like test the hypothesis, but they have to share it with the community for it to be built upon, to translate it, towards the clinic, or at least other people can build upon it.
Absolutely.
So that's important. Plus the ability to go to a conference, especially if you're an early career investigator, network with your peers and others. That's vital for your own career, as well as gathering new ideas, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to defend your ideas, to present at these meetings, to get feedback from the community on, how you can really fine tune your work as you go along. So it's a really great opportunity to come to such a big meeting and present your work.
And chances are the people who are asking you questions are probably going to be the ones reviewing your manuscript or reviewing your next grant anyway. So
exactly. So it's good to be on the good terms with
That's
them
true.
too.
And also be on good terms with those people.
And
But
they
it gives
know-
you a nice
make
little
sure,
sneak
like,
preview.
They know your work really well, so
Yes,
that
that's true.
when they look at it as a reviewer or as an editor, they they're able to make a better judgment.
Absolutely.
So that's part of conference etiquette. You don't want to burn bridges or.
Oh no.
But I think it's also important, no matter what personality type you are, it's really good to try and socialize. So go to those social events, go to the poster sessions, and If you're an extreme introvert, it's still good to, I always say, like, okay, so if I'm here alone, just pick 3 people in the room to go and approach,
Mm-hmm.
and just introduce yourself to and talk to them, and then you can feel like you've done a job
Yeah.
well done.
You've done
Or
something.
if you
Yeah.
like the conversation, you can stay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think posters are a great way to have that one-on-one conversation with the presenter.
Yeah.
And, it's in a smaller group. It could be one-on-one or just like a couple of people standing at the poster. So
Totally.
For the science, but also for our listeners, right? To also go up and maybe do informational interview about what it's
Yes.
like, especially if there's people who are presenting and they're from a pharma,
Yeah, company.
right?
Absolutely. I was actually just thinking that is one of the best ways to make introductions. If it's a company that you're
Mhm.
interested in, or even if you're not, it's practice, but you can say, hey, what's your research on? What does your company do? What's your role there? And
Yeah.
and that's the best icebreaker in the world. It's
Mhm.
literally right
Your
there. You don't even
poster.
have to make eye contact.
Exactly.
You can look at the poster. The
What
entire
better
time.
thing to talk about them and their work?
Absolutely, we say that all the time. People love to talk about
Yeah.
themselves. What do you do here? And they'll tell you.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I mean, unless they're obviously busy or they're obviously
Mm.
engaged with something else, I mean, it's been my experience. We're always happy to
Yeah.
talk to people. And I'm sure if someone came up to the BrightFocus booth and said, "What is your role? What do you do?" And are you are you looking for people? I mean, you'll talk to them.
Yeah.
You would answer them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
None of us are
Preeti
scared.
and I are both, a part of our job, but also part of our passion is to mentor the
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always
I mean-
connect with them, talk with them, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
encourage them to apply and come and talk to us, right?
So other things at conferences, did you want to tell them about the Weaver drop-in sessions
Yeah,
and
yeah,
some
yeah.
other
Ooh.
things that you do for ARVO?
That's a great idea.
So one of the activity that the Weaver Committee, which is the Women in Eye Research
I don't know what it stands for either. Weaver.
Weaver.
Women in eyes and vision research.
research.
Probably
Yeah.
something like that.
Something like that. Sorry, I'm the committee member. I should
I
know
think-
that better.
I think
Um,
WARVO wouldn't have sounded as
Warvo.
good.
I like
Yeah.
Weaver's better than
So
WARVO.
one of the things we do is provide mentoring sessions. So
Okay.
you can sign up or you can just walk in and show up. It's by the ARVO information booth in the exhibitor hall. You can come and talk to the experts who are going to be, available to hear any concerns that you might have, professional concerns on how to navigate or apply to medical school or graduate school. So definitely, I would encourage anyone listening to take advantage of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about? I know some conferences they have. At least they used to do this at ARVO, where they would have an area where you could drop off your resume or your CV.
They still have it.
They still
Yeah,
have that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you can find information on the ARVO app
Okay.
about that. I think they have set timings on when you will have somebody to review the resume.
Hmm.
So that's still available.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we talk about business cards for a second?
Ah.
So, well, because I mean, in industry, we always carry around business cards, and we just have like a ton. But people are switching now to like digital business cards, right? Do you guys
I
get into
haven't, but
that?
I'm-
I haven't
Or-
created it, but I
Not
think
yet.
it, and I think I just saw you earlier. You just like did bump
Oh.
phones and exchange contact. I'm going, darn, I have to get mine set up that
The
way.
beauty of iPhones.
Yeah.
you put them head to head, and it
And
just,
it just
magic
transfers,
happens.
yeah.
And I got someone's contact information. So yes, that's another way
Yeah.
to do it. But I heard that I think there are business cards that do
QR
that now.
code.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially like a QR
Yeah.
code.
Yeah.
And there's your resume. There's your CV. And
I need to do that.
else. Okay. I was just curious if you guys did that yet,
Yeah.
because I think it's a great idea.
Yeah,
just
it's a
haven't
great
yet.
idea and definitely something I'm thinking about because I don't like to carry my card anymore with me. It's just it's so much easier. I usually connect with them on LinkedIn. I just say just
Yeah.
look me up on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
and I usually connect that way. But I think that having a digital card is great.
Most of the time, I forget the cards, and so what I just do is, if they're on iPhone, I just airdrop them.
A photo.
My web contact from BrightFocus's page with my
Oh,
email.
okay. Nice.
Or
That's
LinkedIn.
smart.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is really good too. Okay, well, yeah, you guys have a busy week coming up, and I know tonight is the ARVO Gala, and you have you have to get all dressed up as Kentucky Derby, right?
Yes, I have a
Yes.
big hat.
Diane has the most fabulous hat.
Yeah.
And thank you for your time, and obviously they know how to find both of you on LinkedIn,
Yes.
and yeah, we appreciate you just stopping to chat with us for a few minutes.
And actually, before we go,
Yeah.
can we tell them about how to apply for funding to
Oh, yes, oh my
BrightFocus?
gosh, of course.
Yes.
Please do. All right.
Preeti, you go ahead. It's your programs.
So we are going to open up to receive letter of intent for our macular degeneration program by end of May. We offer postdoctoral fellowship. If you're within 4 years of your terminal degree, we offer new investigator program. If you're within 10 years of your terminal degree, it's really to help anybody setting up their lab in AMD research. And then we have the innovative program, which is really looking for outside the box ideas in the field in AMD research. And that's all of these are letter of intent, and the full proposal is by invitation only. And
it's going to open up in a couple weeks.
End of May 23rd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the deadline is July 25th for the letter of intent. And we have our glaucoma program, which will open up in June. And we have a postdoctoral fellowship and a standard award in our glaucoma program. And the deadline is October 25th of this year. So you can sign up for notifications on our website under Apply for Grants, and you will be notified once the RFP goes out.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what does the letter of intent entail? How long does it have to be?
About 2 pages.
About 2 pages.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's mostly, so what we look for is how innovative is the idea that's being proposed and how relevant it is to AMD.
I see.
Yeah. So these are the 2 things we look for in the letter of intent.
Okay.
And then we get a little more technical and detailed once we get the full proposal.
Absolutely.
But, yeah.
Great.
That's great. No,
Yeah.
Thank you for mentioning that.
No,
Thank you for your time, Preeti, Diane.
Thank you.
See
Thank
you.
you.
See you around
Yeah.
Seattle.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Bye.
I'll see you guys Monday at our breakfast.
Absolutely.